you you manage to find a connection that it is indeed the connection I have, because the connection, like the strongest connection I have with nature is with the beaches in Greece. So like with the soil and the stars in the sky, you know, this is the strongest experience I have, mostly in summer, but in general. I mean, I feel that I'm made of it. It's really constitutive of who I am. Mm-hmm. So especially the first sentence that you wrote, it was immediately, I haven't thought about it as a being, but as an entity for sure. As a material, as a, I don't know how I could call it. As something that has a life of its own, which of course it is. That's why I say entity, but not the being. For me is more humanized. That's why I say that I never thought. But as an entity that has specific characteristics, and you can have specific relation to, that's why it's an entity. So it's not something abstract, but it's also not humanized, let's say. In the sense, I don't know, it may be a goddess or something, feminine. But also maybe because in Greek it is feminine, the noun. It has specific characteristics. I mean, I know when I go, it's a ritualistic connection. It's a kind of cleansing. So it clears something and it reboots. You know, it's like a new start. You know, after the connection. That's why also one of probably my most favorite trip is a trip by boat. In relation to all the rest, where despite the fact that it's the slowest, or maybe because it is the slowest, it always takes much more time to go somewhere by boat than on any other means. It's something that I enjoy because the temporality changes. When you travel by boat, I mean, you can travel by boat 9 hours and it can feel like 1 or 2. It's something that changes in the way the time works on the sea. And it's also something that is endless. There is I have to find that. Wait a minute to see if I could be able to find it. There is a very, there is a famous a lyric in a verse in a poem, which is this. It says, the sea who will be able to drain it dry. It's from a poem by George Ferris, which is called Mythistórημα. It means novel in Greece. And that's something that comes to mind a lot when I think about my connection or where I am when I am at the sea. So it's this endlessness. It gives you an open space, which is, in this sense, universal, something that is beyond the human and the earthly. And it gives, somehow it also liberates thought beyond closed schemas. And so there's a different way of thinking and experiencing when in connection to the sea, I think. Also, I mean, now that I think about it, there are also other characteristics that happen physically, like your weight changes. So you have a different experience of your body. There's also kind of a fear for this unknown. I mean, I know people who have a very, very close relation. Like they really live on or by or with the sea. My relation is more, it's, let's say, within protected grounds. I'm also afraid of its anger sometimes, or of its, yeah. So there is something that is unknown and you can be challenged by the unknown and liberated, but also scared. And I think that's where I am. It's a constant negotiation. How far I can go with this relation. Is a moment when that was some years ago. How many now? Maybe 6, 5, 6, 7, something like that. 5, 7 years ago, when there was a shift from let's say touristic relationship, more touristic relationship that related to the beach as a holiday resort, to a relationship that connected more to my connection to Earth. And I say that in more material or geological, geographic, I don't know how the body, because I remember that I was for holidays on an island for a month, which has great beaches, and and then suddenly for one day we decided to go on a very small island which is next to it. And there we went to a beach, and because this beach is secluded, and when you lie down, you only see the sky, nothing else. You see anything nothing built. I realized that now, as if it was the first time, I am at the beach, which was very weird because I was every day for the last month. And I was starting to think why this experience. And I realized that it's because the way the beach is made, it was, my body became one with the sand and then the water. So it became a whole because I could not see anything built, because it was really nature. And that was, I always remember this experience. It was a very strong experience. What is the difference between the sea as a touristic site and the sea as the biggest part of Earth? That's something also that I think a lot, because I realize that I'm very reluctant. I haven't done it until now. I don't know if I will do it at some point, to enter a sea other than the Mediterranean. So it's not only an entity, it's a Greek entity. It relates to a specific sea that I feel that I'm made of. But all the other seas I've seen in other countries, I'm like, nice to see, but it's not the sea, it's a sea, with the other seas, I have more the fear. I'm thinking now that my name, Danae, is an ancient Greek name, and it means the drained, the thirsty, the one who needs, So, and I was thinking now that this is who I am for the sea. So I always go there to get something, so I ask so I am the thirsty one, let's say, in this sense. And to me, it's like a mother. So it's the caring, the taking care of entity. Or a caring friend, something, but care is there. The time by the sea is marked. So I, for example, every time I start, like I go for the first time, because I go at some point in June usually, and I always have this photo. I make a photo the first time, and I say, let the season begin. It really marks the time that it will be close to the sea, which is from June to August usually. And it's a specific time of the year. It's a kind of Ramadan that the Muslims have, it's this time. And it's marked, its end and its beginning is marked, either with a photo or a mental image, but it's strong. I know the first and the last time. There is a slight distant connection. So the connection is more with the beach, so not the sea, the beach in front of the sea, and the sound that the wave does. So this is a kind of conversation. So the image is me being at the beach and the sound Also at night, not only during the day. But and I usually record this sound from different beaches, so I have and then I hear them also in the winter. To which has different frequencies, different rhythms. It depends, different sounds sometimes. So that's the first thing that comes to mind about this communication.